ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? All right, I just wanted to do kind of a very quick video to, I guess, help people out or make people aware of something that I came across actually today. So I have a bunch of Flask applications, and what I do is I go through and I effectively, get them started up to a WSGI dispatchable middleware setup. I basically define a couple of locations like /webfm, homepage, dropper, and all this, which are some of my applications that I have. And so then they resolve by way of just a specified address that I call apps.com and then giving the port, right? Or at least, given the port is actually going to be 8080. And so structurally speaking, what I've done then is I have, if you look at my host file, I sync the apps.com and www.apps.com addresses to my to basically my 0000 address, which means then that I can share these applications over my local network. Okay. And I've come across something that was really interesting that I wasn't really certain about what was happening, and it is to do with Firefox and the way that some of its default settings are turning into. So what I mean by this is, let me go ahead and just go through and just double click on the session version that I have here. I have already just kind of previously set it up for preference here. So basically it has to do with DNS over HTTPS, and maybe everyone is aware of it, or maybe not. But what this does is basically, as it states, it's a protocol for performing domain name resolution over HTTPS. And this is something that I came across, though, that it actually overrides whatever is set in your etc hosts file. So basically, I have my address. I have a particular plugin that goes through and sets up my address as well as my default tabs, right? So I've got an alt tab page application that I have, and I have my address specified to go to www.apps.com homepage, right? And so in theory, when I click on, if I either create a new tab or I go to home with the home button, it's supposed to go to my application collection. Instead, it takes me to the Intuit QuickBooks website. And I was like, I don't know why I am getting this. Luckily, I happened to actually be paying attention to one of the pop-ups for Firefox, and it was like, oh, by default we're now enabling DOS over HTTPS or something like that. Did you accept? And I said sure, without really thinking much over it, just because I thought, I want to be secure, I want to be safe. Well, again, it breaks the host file, or at least it ignores the host file, and I'm not certain if anyone out there is actually aware of what to do about that or how to keep that included. But I can show you how to go through and disable it, which really is pretty straightforward. All you got to go do is go to your preferences, scroll all the way down in the general tab here to network settings, okay? And then just uncheck mark the enable DNS over HTTPS feature. Now, I'm wondering if there is, because if you check mark it and you actually check on the drop down, there is a custom option. And I'm wondering if there's maybe a way to set up like your own custom like DNS resolver in such a way that it's still over HTTPS, but also allows you to either utilize your host file or maybe a generated filter or something like that on that provider to go through and then actually route accordingly. I don't know. But for now, what I've had to do is go through and just enable DNS, uncheck mark that, click on OK, restart the browser. And then from there, when I go to, when I now can go home, I now can go home to my home page. So if I go click on home, it now properly resolves to my application that I have standing up as a server application. Okay. So again, this is something just to be aware of, either as a developer or as just someone who has this particular setup that they're implementing, so that it's easier for them to have a quick little address that they can kind of point to that they're not using for anything else. And again, the address is just, of course, just locally syncing your calls to that space. It's not like it's affecting someone else. It's just you. But I'm wondering if anyone out there knows like how to maybe handle this or set up your own kind of provider. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please rate, subscribe, tell me what you think, and I will talk to you on later.